example of consciousness. You are God's walking, talking billboard, aware of your connectedness to the universe. I love you. But on a serious note, are you living your spirituality? Which face are you showing to the world? It has been apparent to me our world collectively has gotten itself in a mess because we've been too busy thinking of ourselves economically, emotionally, and spiritually. The universe is trying to move us in a new direction, and it is no accident that our new administration brings two words to our attention: hope and change.
Right.
Two words very familiar to us as metaphysicians. I'm going to be bold enough that those same two words were probably two words very familiar with Jesus the Christ himself. The Bible cites many times that Jesus looked out amongst the masses when he was getting ready to speak, and he was moved through his unconditional love for his brothers and sisters in wanting to help them. He had hope for his brothers and sisters. And the change was not about him changing them, but it was about them changing themselves through an upliftment of their consciousness. He wanted to give them hope and a catalyst for change because he loved them. He loved them unconditionally. So what does that have to do with you? Everything. February is the month we talk about, we concentrate on love and loving gestures. It's traditionally the month of romance. When you think about love or being loving, what comes into your mind? What is the true meaning of love for each of you? Does it encompass thinking outside of yourselves? Perhaps putting yourself in someone else's shoes, or understanding and wondering how you could change the world of those around you through your actions. Have you ever stopped to think, what is it that God expects of us? What does God expect of us? Well, I tell you that the answer lies within the pages of the New Testament. You know, I tell you all the time, don't be afraid to open the Bible. You just have to be able to read it with discernment. And there's two levels of understanding. There's the surface level, and then there's the occult level, the hidden level, the meaning, true meaning level. Okay? Don't be afraid to open up Scripture and read it. And ask for guidance and wisdom when you open it up. But within the pages of the New Testament, there's a major theme that is weaved through the stories, through the allegorical stories and the parables within those pages. One main theme, and that is what? Love. Love. God expects us to love one another unconditionally. That's what he expects of us. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. She said, well, you know, Sheila, you got the 10 Commandments and you got the Golden Rule. I'm like, yeah, but when you love unconditionally, you don't need anything else. That covers all your bases. It covers all your bases when you love unconditionally. But we need those rules and that golden rule to remind us, just in case you're not loving unconditionally, this is what you're not supposed to do, because when you're loving unconditionally, you're going to honor your mother and father. Doesn't matter what you think they did to you. They're beings, spiritual beings walking on this path with you. You're not going to murder somebody. You're not going to covet your neighbor's belongings, because we're all children of God. We're all heirs to the kingdom. Why are you jealous about what somebody else has? You understand what I'm saying? Are you with me this morning, church?
Yes. Yes.
Once you've learned to love unconditionally, everything else just falls into place. And the one true example of the one who loved unconditionally was who? Was our big brother, Jesus the Christ, the master, the teacher. According to an Egyptian mythology, the gatekeeper of the heart is Queen Mot. She's the goddess of truth, balance, and order. And it's said that before anyone can pass into eternal peace, the heart must be weighed and balanced on the scale of Mot. On one side of the scale is your heart, constant factor of all of your actions. On the other side of that scale is a single feather of Queen Mot. And contained within that single feather is all the honorable issues of life: truth, honor, justice, harmony, and love. Now, if you're harboring anything within your heart besides these things, that scale tilts against you. Tilts against you. And you don't make it to that eternal peace. As metaphysicians, we know that it means reincarnation. You keep coming back and coming back and coming back until you get it right. So your heart has to be as light as the feather of Queen Mott. You understand what I'm saying? So, how does that apply to you? When you have a change in consciousness, when you truly know how to love, true love, you seek and speak truth. You deal justly with honesty and honor in all situations. You seek no quarrels with your fellow beings. You lead lives harmoniously. And you extend only love, because that's the only thing that's real. Become a transparency for the Christ consciousness. You follow the teachings of the Master Jesus. So why is it so hard for so many of us to understand and demonstrate that? Well, it's just like the apostles. Remember who they were. They walked with Jesus. They talked with Jesus. They ate with him. They broke bread with him. They were taught by the Master, and yet sometimes they totally miss some of the most important lessons that Christ was trying to teach them. It's about unconditional love. Because everything is hinged on the lesson of unconditional love, spontaneous healing. Unconditional love. Same applies today. It's not what can I do for myself. Understand what love is what can I do for another. You're here for fraternal service. Fraternal service. Proverbs 4:3 tells us, keep thy heart with all diligence, for in it are the issues of life. Honor, truth, love, harmony, balance. So how does your heart weigh? How does it balance on the scale of Queen Mott? And so it is. Now our speaker this morning, very, very proud to introduce her. We've heard her speak numerous times. She's always spoken as Associate Minister or Minister in Training, Pam. And today she speaks as Reverend Pam Jeffries.